Greetings, gamers! Welcome to part number 41 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 4 Genealogy of the Holy War, and in today's episode, I want to speak about, beginning this episode, two of my next units in line, and that would be Oifi and Julia. First, Oifi, of course. He is your quote-unquote Jagan of this generation, and he's a very good one. His statistics are better than either Quan or Sigurd. He has a little bit of a worse start because his weapons aren't as good, but he has better skills and better statistics. I don't think his growths are better than either of those two units, but his growths are pretty much on par with good old Quan. This is why I personally would probably rename the Oifi archetype to Quan. But I guess Oifi does sound a little bit more catchy in a way, in a little sense. He's all grown up, and he has helped the liberation to begin. He also has pretty fantastic statistics, in my humble opinion. Starting with an Armor Slayer, not so great, but as long as he doesn't crit, he's not doing that much damage with it, which allows him to feed KOs to other units. Though this is also pretty good for use against the armored bosses. In this particular gen. He comes with the Javelin. This is going to be replaced very shortly with a weapon that I find far more suits Oifi in the next chapter for a 1-2 range option. He starts with 40 HP and 100% HP growth, 16 strength and a 40% strength growth, 9 magic and a 5% magic growth, 17 skill and a 50% skill growth, 16 speed and a 30% speed growth, 8 luck and a 40% luck growth, 17 defense and a 30% defense growth, and 8 resistance and a 10% resistance growth. He comes with minor Baldur Holy Blood, as he is the nephew of Sigurd. Now, the interesting thing is you'd probably look especially at his speed growth being only 30% and say, man, this guy is not really all that much of a growth unit. Why are you saying this is much better than Jagan? Well, most of Jagan's actual growth rates are like 20% or less, or 25% or less. I would definitely say that Oifi and Quan and Soth belong in their own particular archetype of Jagans, like a sub-archetype, if I would say. And I do understand why people, dubbed Oifi, because he is way more memorable as an as like a Quan, or not a Quan, as like a Jagan than Quan is, because Quan does leave after a certain point. But it doesn't matter, because either way, Quan still fulfills the same role. Now, concerning Oifi as a paladin, I actually think he's a pretty fantastic unit. If you were to give him the magic ring, as well as any one of the magic swords, the wind sword is a good idea. I'm going to be giving him the flame sword. But if you were to give him the magic ring and one of the magic weapons, at this current moment, without a single statistic growth in magic, he one-rounds pretty much all of the Wyvern Knights in this generation, which is actually kind of insane, especially if he gets a crit. If he gets a crit, he just doesn't care about anything. And that's the wonderful thing about Oifi. He comes with 8,500 gold, 9 movement, A rank in swords, B rank in lances, pursuit, and critical. So he's going to double attack, and he has a skill percentage, 17% at this current time, chance to crit with regardless of whatever weapon he has. Oifi is one of those units that does not need a crit weapon, ever. He would benefit from the Brave Sword in the arena, obviously, and I'm obviously going to give that to him in the arena. But the issue is that on the battlefield, it's just better for you to give him normal weapons. Any unit that is good and has critical as a skill does not need a critical weapon. That's just kind of understandable. Now, that doesn't mean you can't give him one, because it will boost his critical. I'm just saying he doesn't necessarily need it, especially once he becomes good enough with the weapon. I actually really love Oifi. I think he's a fantastic unit, and I think that he's oftentimes dropped because he's not as quote-unquote strong as the rest of your Holy Blood units in this gen. I think he is perfectly viable from this point till the end of the game. And that's saying something. It's a testament to how good he is as a unit. And I would dare say that he is better than Quan because he has pursuit and he has access to some interesting weapons. Swords are just better than lances. And though lances have the might, swords have the utility. Now, Julia is a priestess. Julia is an interesting unit. So she is like her mother Deidre before her, except she doesn't have Sigurd as a father. She has Arvis as a father. She is the twin to Julius, Arvis' son. Now, she is kind of an interesting character in the sense that, like I said, she's like Deidre. She does leave after a certain while, and then she doesn't come back for a good certain while. And she comes back, unlike Deidre. And when she comes back, if you get her promoted or have her promoted, especially once you get her tome, her holy weapon tome, combatively, I don't think there's a unit in this game who could touch her. I think she's just that strong because that tome is that strong, especially with her promotion. It's actually recommended not to give her the promotion, but to get her very, very close to it, like level 16 or 17 or 18, somewhere around there, so that you don't have too much of a problem dealing with her before you get her back. Let's just put it that way. And you're going to be able to get through the arena in the final chapter with her and get her to promotion if she's that close anyway, so it's not necessarily needed to have her promoted before then, but I like doing it too. She's a level 1 with a 24 base HP, 90% HP growth, 0 base strength, 10% strength growth, 11 base magic, 100% magic growth, 8 base skill, 20% skill growth, 11 base speed, 30% speed growth, 5 base luck, 30% luck growth, 3 base defense, 10% defense growth, 14 base resistance, 50% resistance growth. Leave me tell you, she could grow nothing in any of her statistics and just get her Sage promotion, and with her holy weapon, she's a threat. She is amazing with her holy weapon. It's just unfortunate that she doesn't get to use it till the very end of the game. She has major Naga Holy Blood and minor Vala Holy Blood, so she has no Loptyr Holy Blood in her, unlike her mother, which is actually kind of an interesting take. So she took the major Holy Blood from her father as a minor, and the major Holy Blood of her mother as a major, and she received none of the minor Holy Blood from either Arvis or Deidre, which is good for her because she doesn't need it. She has 5 movement, 2,000 funds, B rank in staves, and an S rank in light. She has pursuit, so she can double attack. She has adept, so she has an attack speed % chance to double. This is going to be irrelevant, especially with the aura for most instances, until she promotes. With her Tome of her namesake, and especially the Nosferatu for the early game, because she's not getting the other tome for quite a long time, she's going to be pretty darn good combatively. She also has Nihil, so she's immune to critical hit skills, sword skills particularly, I wish this was fixed, and crippling hits. She cannot be crippled because she does not have anything that's super effective against her, even upon promotion, if that gives you a hint on what she becomes. Alright, so I don't know exactly what I want to do here. I do know that I'm going to go ahead and attack you with Lester. And then I'll put Seliph right here. Actually, I don't want Seliph to fight the... Okay, so he's out of the range of the boss. That's good. I don't want Seliph to fight Schmidt quite yet, because I would prefer that he was dealt with elsewise by some somebody else, Johan. Johan needs the Brave Axe as soon as possible. It's what's going to complete him, basically. And I think I'll wait right. Oh, I don't want to. I gotta be careful about the range of these enemies here. And of course, I'm going to finish you off with Dermot. And I'm going to be healing up Dermot by putting Lana directly in between Dermot and Lester. Perfect. Recover, of course. So one thing that's kind of interesting is that the inventories of your units are sorted in such a way that the last weapons that the parents receive are first on the list. So the actual beneficial way to do this would be at the end of the first generation, swap those weapons around in inventory so that the first is last and last is first. So that way her heal and recover would be on top. I'm just going to do this next chapter, so it doesn't matter. But it is something that's agitating, especially because there's been many times where I've accidentally spammed and I've done warp or physic when I didn't want to, when I wanted to do recover rather than heal or this, that, or the other, and I did something else. And it's just because you can't manage the inventory of your units without being in the castle. And I find that to be a little bit strange. I understand why you can't just trade with other units, because if trading was in this game, it would bust open the... Alright, I'm going to go ahead and wait next to you. It would bust open the critical weapons. In fact, I would hazard to say that crit weapons would have to be removed from this game, and the crit counter, well, not crit weapons, but the crit counter would have to be removed from this game if you were going to go as far as to not, or to allow trading. HP, strength, magic, nice. Speed, nice. Just what I'm looking for. I absolutely love how Seliph, when he dodges, he actually uses his shield to block the hit. I think that's cool. So Schmidt will run away if you KO too many of these units. Which I have not done yet, so I think he's going to come my way. And he did. Very nice. All right. I'm not necessarily sure what I'm going to do about Schmidt first. So Schmidt obviously has the Brave Axe. I'm going to probably attack him. See, if I attack him with Seliph. So the problem with that is that Seliph just KOs him with just like 1 or 2 crits. Alright. Ulster could be a good potential candidate here. He's doing 16 times 2. That's actually pretty good. I guess what I could do is use Oify to soften him a bit. Hold, rebel scum! King Danum has decreed that you shall go no further. Yeah, I'm expecting Oify to take at least a hit here, right? And Julia can go ahead and mend you up. Alright, so I think Lester... So if Lester procs any of his crazy skills here, particularly, well, Astra is the only one that really matters. If he procs Astra, he just KOs Schmidt, and I don't want that. So I would have to reset. Ooh, KO'd. Oh man, I'm gonna have to reset for that too. Alright, so Seliph taking the front first, and then I'm probably going to strike Schmidt with the light brand after I heal, of course. Very nice. It's unfortunate that I have to hit with the light brand here on him, but I need to do some extra damage, and Ulster just dies. Technically, I could give him an extra 10 avoid. That could technically help here, so maybe I'll go ahead and attack you. You Rivo Axe Knight, you will not be able to stand against the great and mighty power of the light brand, soon to be reaching crit. Oh, it has reached crit. Very nice. Okay. Brave Bow. And that's yet again another defeat on Rivo's team. So one thing I haven't checked here. Okay, so he can reach over here. How much damage is he doing? 17. Alright, I gotta hope that one of these do not hit. One of them did not hit. The only problem with that is that now he cannot be hit by any of the Axe Knights. Alright. 17 damage, and then I'm going to get the Brave Axe. King Denim, my lord, forgive me! Unfortunately, no forgiveness for you, buddy. You are passed on from this world. And of course, I'm going to equip the Brave Axe. The Brave Axe is far and away better than the Steel Axe, as though it has 2 less might, it has 6 less weight, and only 8 more KOs to get to crit range. I am very, very excited about that, as it will mean some pretty interesting things. Prince Shannon is our beacon of hope for Isaac's future once he returns with his Divine Blade and Balmung in hand. Well, those Imperial sods won't stand a chance at all. Every last one of them will be run out of here, our great land. 500 gold. I'm very glad I got that 500 gold. I mean, it's better than nothing, but unfortunately it's not all that great. But it's kind of what you have to do. You have to kind of pick and choose which villages you're going to hit with fee, especially if you're going to have... Oh wow, he's not attacking Ulster. That's pretty interesting. Especially if you're going to go after Johalvier and crew with Arthur. So getting that 1 magic has allowed him to get to the point... Ooh, 1 magic again, where he is capable of... 1-rounding these guys. Doesn't particularly matter because I don't see many of them going for him again. And attacking Ulster, thank goodness he missed. Even with Ulster's pretty good defense, I think he would be KO'd here by the wonderful hand axes if they were to hit. Brave Bow. I already have crit on the Brave Sword, so I can just move Seliph as much as possible. Now, of course, Seliph does need experience points, so that's a valid thing as well to keep in mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I'll go here. Yeah, she could have moved a little bit further, but it's okay. It will be okay. Yep, I'm doing exactly 21 damage here, which is nice. Oh, actually, I'm doing 22 here. I just got another point of magic. Very nice. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Recover. And of course, I do have another Brave weapon user that needs crit on his particular weapon, so I'm going to go ahead and do that just now. And as you can see, at base, he's already doing a pretty decent amount of physical damage. Once he gets crit, that's going to be wildly better. And he has much better growth rates than... Alright. He has much better growth rates than Lex. Let alone the fact that, you know, he's just in a better position, better generational position. He doesn't have Paragon, which stinks, but he is a level 12, so he won't be far away from promoting. Not too far, at least. A couple of arenas, and he'll be not only on par with the rest of your units, he'll be giving some of your Holy Blood units a run for his money, because the fact of the matter is that he has and will have a crit Brave Axe very shortly. Larse and Johan. All right. Rivo phase. Seliph needs to seize. I want to say maybe recover with you. Perfect. More experience, the better. Yeah, so the rest of this chapter is kind of like a little bit of a mop-up. Since Schmidt was KO'd, this is actually one of the instances where I was able to get Schmidt a whole lot quicker than I was necessarily expecting. I'm very excited about that because even though it's going to make basically the rest of this map pretty dull, the issue is that sometimes he's just a little bit of a handful because he decides to run back and forth and basically stay out of the way, run away from you, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not so keen on just chasing Schmidt around the entire country of Isaach. I do believe there was a couple of talk conversations. Yes, it's just Fee and Arthur for right now. And it's time to seize. Oh, Lord Seliph, sir. Glad to see you're okay. Is everyone unharmed, sir? Indeed, and ecstatic to see you to boot. Thanks to you, Lord Seliph, we know that at long last Isaach shall have its freedom. Thank you, sir. But the effort isn't mine alone. I could never have come so far without the support of the common man. You've all supported me from the beginning. I likely wouldn't be here if not for you. Fate is a funny thing, isn't it, sir? Just 20 years ago, our late king had the utmost trust in your grandfather's wisdom. Then your father came to protect Prince Shannon, and now the prince has guided you to adulthood. Perhaps fate has bound Isaach and Chalfie as one. Isaach is the only home I've ever known, and Prince Shannon is like a brother to me. I pray our friendship lasts the rest of our lives. Lord Seliph, you are the rightful heir to House Belhalla and the throne of Granville. Not a soul alive in Isaach, nor in the rest of the world, can doubt this. We beg of you, raise the banner of justice high, march on Belhalla, and reclaim your true throne. Yes, sir, I most certainly shall. Now, with Salphora seized, Julia must talk to Seliph. Lester can keep on sticking around with his newfound girl. Whether or not they actually pair is kind of beyond me, which I've already made like this statement, so it's not necessary for me to go over it again and again, but it's just something to note. I am unsure about pairings in this particular gen on some accounts. I know Arthur and Fee definitely pair. Usually units that have a tie to one another but aren't obviously related, like these two, they have a tie together in the story. They came to this particular place basically through the story. You know, they're going to be relative to one another. So I don't know who to give this village to. I'm guessing Lester. Lester would probably be the best. So there is a lot of ground to cover before I reach Dannon. I believe I'm going to skip that ground covering, just to make this a little bit better of a video. I will see you then. First, I must get this talk conversation out of the way. Are you faring all right so far, Julia?
Thank you, Lord Seliph.
Actually, I have something for you. I found this in Isaach Castle.
What is it?
It's a light tome called Nosferatu. You can wield these, yes?
Yes, I'm able to use light magic.
Excellent. Hopefully you'll now have an easier time protecting yourself in combat.
Thank you, Lord Seliph. Thank you so much.
Alright, so now we get to finally see the Nosferatu tome. It is a 70 hit, 14 might, 1-2 range, 12 weight weapon. This means this is the statistics of the Earth Sword at range. I believe the Earth Sword has 70 hit, 12 might, 1-2 range, and 5 weight up close. So it's significantly worse at range concerning weight. A little bit better at, you know, at might, but we're talking magic damage compared to physical damage. Nosferatu is amazing on this unit because she can then use it to tank enemies that she wouldn't possibly be able to fight otherwise. I do think I want Lester to reach this village. And Julia can stay with him. Time to finish off this castle, and after I finish the castle, it will be on to more moving. Finished you are. At this rate, the Forseti has 24 KOs on it. It will not be long, I promise. But I do have to go and meet you again when Dannon is the enemy. Alright, gamers, it is time to get the last couple of villages and fight Dannon.
I've been hearing a lot about how the Empire's been hunting kids in all these other countries. Thanks to you lot, Isaac's free from the Empire at last, but the rest of the world's still in a really dark place. All across Dregdrel, they're all waiting for Lord Seliph to rise up and defeat the Empire. Please, I'm begging you. You've got to make it to Grandvale soon.
That is the hope. And Lester?
Oh, aren't you from that Liberation Army? Glad to see you're making a stand now. This is great news with you all around. We've finally got a shot at making them Imperial cowards run out of here with their tails between their legs.
That is the plan. So, I don't know who I want to give this KO to. Oifi is going to do some pretty reasonable damage here, I think. Yeah, he's going to be doing 44, so 24 damage times 2. This is nice.
Pitiful rebel fools! Don't you dare underestimate the glory of the Granvale Empire.
Ah. Ooh. 2? That must be some kind of funny joke. I'm just going to let him go ahead and attack Oifi then. Now, he does have a thief sword. If he hits you with that, he will steal your gold. This is not a joke. He will actually steal your gold. And then time to attack with the light brand. So I'm doing 13 damage, and obviously it's going to be times 2. Hopefully he doesn't get a second Pavis here. He did not.
Lord Arvis, my liege!
Well, you have lost. Therefore, betrayed your liege. HP, magic, and skill. Yes, 5 magic already. Let me tell you, he's growing exactly how I want. He's already got a decent amount of strength. 18 to be exact is fair and fantastic. 10 magic is pretty good right now. So that means he's going to have a 24 times 2 when he gets, well, he has crit. So a 48 attack. That's kind of insane. I'm very excited about this. Now, for pairing's sake, I could just go ahead and wait a few turns, but I'm not actually going to do that because, like I said, pairing in the 2nd generation is not really necessary. It's just a cool boon if you get it.
A job well done, Seliph. Thanks to you, Isaach is free from the Empire's grip.
Lewin, are you already finished in Leonster?
Yeah, I only just got back now. Look, Seliph, are you aware that right now this world's at a critical turning point?
No, I'm afraid not.
It's been 15 years since Arvis conquered all of Jugdral and united it as the Granvale Empire. Honestly, for a while at first, it wasn't all that bad. In the Empire's dawn, Emperor Arvis sought to bind his nation using only the structures of law. Sure, it was strict and constraining, but we still got a good few years of peace out of it. But obviously he changed his mind a few years back, as if by magic, the Empire turned into that oppressive force we all know and love today. See, this is how modern people speak. This is not how a medieval, romanticized Europe would speak. Know and love today. That's such a modern, that is such a modern expression. Even worse, the ancient heretics of the Loptyrian order have arisen from the shadows once more and raised influence across the land. Their murderous rituals have returned with them, and all across Jugdral they abduct children to sacrifice in droves to resurrect their fell god. Yes, they are gray villains, and they are an oppressed cult, or an oppressed people, sorry, not a cult. Maybe to like 2024 psychopaths everywhere across the world who, you know, want everybody to be loved and tolerated no matter how evil. They'd probably think this is okay. All attempts to resist the Empire are crushed and met with brutal executions or enslavement. It couldn't be plainer that they seek to return Jugdral to the days of brutal control by that ancient abomination, the Loptyr Empire. This cannot be happening. I've heard all the rumors saying the same, but never did I think they could be more than rumors. By the look of it, Isaach hasn't had it quite as bad as most. Danim's 2 sons, at least, refuse to follow through on the child hunts. Of course, there's always been people trying to rebel against the Empire left, right, and center. Another modern lingo for you. But they were all scattered and disorganized. Before you, none have ever posed a proper threat to the Empire. They were all swiftly crushed before they could so much as blink. Jugdral desperately needs a savior. It needs a man to unite behind in the name of liberty. And I'm pretty sure that man is you, Seliph. You're the only one who stands a chance. Hold on a moment. Are you sure of this? A savior would require power I surely lack. Chalk it up to duty, Seliph. You're the eldest child of Empress Deidre.
that makes you the elder brother to the crown Prince Julius. You're the one true heir to St. Heim. Your destiny is to unite the power of the Crusaders of this era and free the world from this evil grip. But he doesn't have major Heim or Naga holy blood, so actually, though he is the true heir royalty-wise, he's not the true heir like bloodline-wise in the sense that he doesn't have the holy blood, the major holy blood to match it. He's still the son of Sigurd first and foremost. Trust me, you really do have what it takes. Your true power and potential sleeps within you. That is, the sacred blood of the Crusader Baldur. Once you get your holy blade, Tyrfing, not even the heavens will be able to stand in your way. But Sorry, Seliph, but that's how the gods will it. You're Sigurd's son, the son of a man who fate led to a brutal end. The fulfillment of his dying wishes and his final request falls on you. You can't afford to be doubting yourself right now. You understand, Seliph? Yes, I do. If this is fate and the will of the gods, then so be it. I will do my duty. There actually isn't a single absolute fate, nor is there just one person it all hinges upon. As obtuse as that sounds, trust me, one day it'll all make sense. Sigurd left behind so much to help you on your quest. Most importantly, the many friendships he forged in his life. Me, for instance. Brave youths from all over are already lining up to join your cause, all guided by Sigurd's kindness. My father won the love and trust of so many people, from all walks of life. I can only pray that, in time, I'll prove my worthiness to his legacy. You'll be fine. Anyway, to business. Our immediate goal now is to reach Leonster. The son of Quan, your father's closest friend, raised his own rebellion only to suffer severe losses. He's in pretty urgent need of backup. I know you've had no time to rest, but we need to get going as soon as possible. For now, at least, we can leave Isaach in the care of its citizens. Odds are we'll run into Prince Shannon on our way. Understood. Of course I'm going to save. Word of the first victory of Prince Seliph and his liberation army quickly spreads far, as I have to complete this episode and bid you all a farewell. The story is gripping and long and beautiful, but it must come to an end per episode, as the episodes must be concise and wonderful in its own fashion, right? I spent an awful lot of time dawdling about the two units I had to speak about, especially because I find them to be quite fantastic units. I do want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below, and while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.